Hey y'all, welcome back to
Mama House.
So today, girl, we need to talk about something.
What we gonna talk about?
About talking.
Okay, let's do it.
I realized that as I've gotten older, I'm feeling more comfortable with expressing myself.
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel so liberated. I feel very free.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, I don't want to do that. I'm gonna say I don't want to do that. I'm just not gonna be there. I feel at peace with that.
Oh, that's good.
And I love encouraging the same thing for people to experience because it's freeing to express yourself. Whether it's I'm so happy, I love this, or you did that thing that really bothered me.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
And I realized that in life it can be difficult to say how you feel, but it has to happen.
Yeah.
Because living our life, pretending oh, that's my uncle and he's super disrespectful, but I'm just going to continue to go. I feel at odds with that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I know that you're comfortable saying how you feel, but for me and one of our other sisters and some of us actually, it's kind of hard to say how we feel. What word of advice would you give to someone who may be struggling to use their voice to advocate for themselves or just simply say how they feel?
Man, I can only speak from my personal experience. The best conversations I've ever had were the ones where I had to face the most difficult thing. Whether it is confronting an abuser or confronting leaders within the church or saying really difficult things. And those moments that had me the most anxious and nervous and not confident at all, those are the ones where I came out with a breakthrough. So it is often the difficult things to say that is what you need to say the most.
Yeah.
Obviously, that might not be very encouraging for someone who has yet to start doing that. But I will say, when you begin to speak your truth, there comes an alignment in your soul, in your spirit. You begin to feel like, I can trust myself.
Yeah, that's true.
I can trust myself. I can do this. I can do hard things.
So you feel like practicing makes it a little bit easier, or you improve with practicing.
Yeah.
Okay. So
and it's not just I need to confront that person that did that thing. It's just oh, do you want ice cream? Don't say no if you want ice cream. You know what I mean? You start off with the little things every day, and that trickles into this big old effect.
That's true. I remember when it would even be hard for me to choose a restaurant or tell you guys what I'm craving. But you guys would always be like, just tell us.
Yeah.
It makes it easier for everyone if you just tell someone, especially if they're asking you specifically. So that's true. And I feel like I've always admired that you were able to use your voice. And I guess because you've done it often growing up, I had thought that was something that came naturally for you, but you struggled through it as well. But you did it anyway.
It was the most difficult thing to do. But I realized that when I do this thing, I feel good about it. What used to keep me up at night is I wish I would have just said the thing.
That's true.
Why didn't I just say the thing? For example, when I was in second grade, a girl stole my hat. And I saw her wearing it. And I didn't say anything. Until this day, I think about that. So I don't want to live my life with those little moments of why did I just say that? Most times, if I say something, and it might be a little harsh, I think I could have said that differently. But I never say, I regret saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it hasn't always come naturally to me, but as you practice...
you get better.
Anything, you do get better at it. Because a lot of people practice not being good at communication. They practice that. You choosing every day to not do something about it. How come you get to practice that? So.
Yeah. I feel like you've been such a good influence on me in helping me find my voice and to use it. I think it's been there, but I feel like you really are so empowering. Just be just say how you feel. And that's simple, but that's hard to do.
Yeah.
But I feel like practicing it myself definitely helped. Even if it's uncomfortable, even if it hurts, even if you don't know what you want out of the conversation and you just encourage me to do it, it helped a lot even to just simply express ourselves. If it's who cares about how that other person's going to take it? Once you express how you feel, that's pretty much all that matters. It's just all right, you said what you want to say. It doesn't matter how they take it. You said what you said.
Yeah. I think the hard part about wanting to be good and saying how you feel is that sometimes people are going to do that with you. They're going to do that to you. And it is a little uncomfortable sometimes.
I'm having a wig malfunction here.
So it can be very difficult, but I feel like most times I don't regret saying what I said. I may regret how I said it, how I brought it up.
That's true.
You know, my pitch could have been a little bit different, but for the most part, I need to get that out. There's a lot that can be said about saying how you feel, right? It's so uncomfortable to say how you feel sometimes, but I just want to encourage people by saying that, like, once you practice it, and you're just like, no, I don't want to go. I'm not going to go. And you start living impeccably and speaking your truth. Like, you're not going to punish yourself for that. Most times we look back at our lives and we're like, oh my gosh, this person scarred me this way. I didn't say anything. I didn't do anything. I don't want to live my life like that no more.
I've been thinking of how, like, sometimes people don't make it a safe space for you to say how you really feel.
That is true.
And maybe that's where it's like, now you just got to work around that. Be all right, I don't feel safe around them. I don't want to be by them. Or I just don't want to be as close to you no more.
Yeah.
Because that's big. I feel like when someone does say or share with you how they feel, it's like an opportunity for you to be receptive to that and to show that, like, I'm listening. You know? It's not a one-way thing. It's like it should be reciprocal. Or else, what's the point of communication? What's the point of having a conversation? What's the point of talking with each other?
Dude, honestly, what really forced me into this place of, like, say how you feel. Before Dad died, he and I got into this really bad argument, right? And I feel like, I don't know if I've talked about it on the channel before, maybe I have, but that has been, like, the number one most impactful thing for me. Is once someone dies or you die, those words can't be said no more. They just can't. It's too late. That's gone. So for me, it's like, I see something beautiful in you, I'm going to say it. You did something that hurt me, I'm going to say it. It's not about always confronting someone. Sometimes people see beautiful things in someone and they withhold it. Why?
Yeah, that's true.
Give people their flowers while they're here.
Yeah. That's true. While they're alive. Like, imagine how uplifting that would be for that person to hear that. But also be careful what you say too, because those words can cut as well.
Damn, this is like, being a good communicator is a very difficult dance. You have to understand the balance between, like, how you say it, how someone receives it, the word choices you use, your emotions with it. This is a lot. I get why people struggle with it.
It is hard. I still struggle with it at times.
Yes.
Sometimes, and also, I mean, like, I just take way longer to process. So I may not have anything to say right now, but maybe in like 2 days I will. And then you won't get that long essay from me. Or that, I want to talk with you.
You know, honestly, I'm here for that, for this era. And I say era because there's like a breakthrough moment where somebody's like, I'm so done being shut down. I'm going to say what I got to say. And then it kind of like opens up a world of, like, truth for you. You just begin to, it just flows out of your mouth like, oh, hey girl, you look good. Or it just becomes natural. You don't think about it anymore. You're not confused. Like, should I say this? You learn to trust yourself. This is this is a relationship with yourself. Like, saying what you need to say, how you feel. Like, honestly, it can be so difficult. You and I have had very hard conversations as well.
We did.
It is in those moments where we're like, oh, okay.
It grew us. It was hard and uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But it grew us. And if you don't feel safe to do that with someone, maybe rethink that relationship a little bit more. Like, if you don't even feel safe to express who you really are and how you really feel, especially when it's that person that made you feel that way, then, like, maybe there's something else to work on.
Oh, girl, that's hard, too.
It is hard.
Because the whole point of this, right, is to say how you feel, right? But it's like, what if you say how you feel to someone who doesn't give a damn? What do you do now?
That is, well, maybe who cares? They don't give a damn. I think that's a thing.
That is
like
true.
Hard to accept, but it's like, I think you give it a try, and then if you want to, and then if you decide, oh, they don't give a damn, then maybe your body's just like, I don't need to communicate with them no more.
Trust
That's what
yourself.
I'm learning.
Yeah.
Right now.
Seriously. Oh my gosh. I do love the era that you're in of, like, learning to find your voice and speaking your truth and saying the hard things, because some people never get there. And honestly, I was watching this video of, like, really old people on their deathbed, and the things that they want people to do is say how you feel and do what you want. It's your life.
What if saying how you feel might bother someone else?
I mean, that's a good question.
Yeah. I guess you just gotta...
You'll figure it out.
Figure it out.
Have the conversation and let me know, because What if you have the conversation?
Yeah. No, for real.
What if you have the
It's all good. It looks okay.
What if you have the conversation and they are receptive?
Yeah.
Because I feel like most times we jump to the conclusion of it being a bad thing. But what if it's not? And so what if it is? Now you had the conversation and you knew, oh, so-and-so didn't take it away.
At least you had peace with it. Like, I said what I had to say. That's what I'm loving. And honestly, I'm new to this, but I've been doing it thanks to for your encouragement and support too. But like, it feels so good. Like, it doesn't even matter how they receive it. It's just like you receive yourself and you're expressing how you feel. So you're free. And then also, I think of it this way. It ain't fair that I'm the only one who gets to feel this way and I'm holding it in. I deserve to let it be known. Yeah. And I was watching this video one time. It was like, so many people feel depressed because they're not expressing themselves. And I feel like I literally feel like something shifted when I began truly saying how I feel. Like, I'm hungry. I want to eat this. Even that. Or like, you said this and it bothered me. What did you mean by that? Or, I feel like I didn't really like your tone when you said that. Or like, you've said this. Is that how you really feel about me? I feel like there's something deeper. Saying, like, just me being able to voice that was validating for myself. It didn't matter if they gaslit me or not. It's just, you did this and you said this and made me feel this way. And how are we going to move forward?
What qualities has that instilled in you with challenging yourself to do those things?
Being confident, authentic, and truthful.
Period.
Yeah.
I would have to agree. Those three things.
Oh, and peaceful.
There is something so beautiful about knowing I said what I had to say.
Yeah.
Period. We're so worried about the outcome. We're so attached to the future that we don't know that sometimes we don't even have the conversation. This case, it might be bad. It might be bad. So fucking what? So fucking what?
You know, I realized I had less peace when I withheld what I actually want to say. That's why I feel like, okay, yes, it does. Like, you do sacrifice some comfort when you address someone. But there's way more discomfort when you choose not to. So I would rather risk that comfort for me to express myself than to hold it in and fail either way, knowing that I didn't say what I had to say.
Okay, risk that comfort.
No, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, so risk it because it's worth it. Because either way, you're sitting in that discomfort. So you may as well express it and relieve yourself and have peace. So now, like, it's like, honestly, I feel like since I've been expressing myself more, I can go to sleep knowing that I said what I had to say. Like, literally, I don't have to question it. And like, even with like saying goodbye, I feel like that's a big thing to me. And I remember, girl, I told you about my, like, the time I almost died. I remember thinking I didn't get to say goodbye. And I feel like, okay, that's even saying how you feel. Like, goodbye. I'll see you next time. And knowing that, like, all right, that was the last time I saw you, I'm going to say goodbye until I see you again. That's a big deal. Like, words matter to us so much.
Yes, it does. And, like, y'all, you're going to pick up that we really love this thing. But y'all do too. Y'all do too. Because there is something beautiful when someone is like, wow, I love how thoughtful you are in this. Thank you so much, right? It does something to you. It's very spiritual. And to be on the receiving end, I feel like for a long time I was surrounded by people who couldn't speak their truth. It was very passive. And to be on the receiving end of, I can always trust that So will tell me the truth. She'll tell me how she feels. If she's mad at me, I can trust that she'll tell me. I ain't gotta bug her.
And I can't hide it either.
And
our energies.
Oh my gosh.
We feel it.
And that's the thing, is that, like, people can't hide it, but they won't say it. Like, so you're gonna be passive with me and you harboring all of this anger in your spirit. Just tell me. Honestly, I'd rather someone blow up on me and be angry with me and then I blow up back. No, I'm just kidding. I might. I just might, but I might not. For the most part, I might hear you. I might get it.
That's true. If you just communicate. Honestly, sometimes I feel like it's exhausting though. Yeah. Because, you know, like, I had cut off one of my friends just because I felt like it wasn't really healthy for me no more. And she actually told me, like, I wish you could have just addressed these things to me. We could have probably solved them before. And I was like, it's too much. It's too exhausting. I've tried, and I just don't know if she saw those as opportunities. But yeah, there's a point where it's just like, I don't think I need to continue communicating and expressing myself to you. I've done that enough.
Oh, girl.
So at what point do you stop? When it's just no longer giving you peace?
When it's a pattern.
Oh, okay. Catching on to that pattern?
When someone is showing you constantly, like if you keep coming to me, right? I do this talk thing where I'm like, say what you feel what you say, right?
Say what you feel.
Feel what you say. And, like, I say all that, and then when you come up to me with a problem, and I'm like, girl, that's you deal with that. It's like, why would you want to come to me? Why would you want to have a relationship with me? So having these tough conversations and being, like, an impeccable communicator, you kind of understand how to navigate your relationships. Like, oh, okay, so-and-so doesn't respect me. So-and-so, wow, I've misunderstood. I get it now. You know, I had this conversation. It builds your relationships, y'all.
That's true.
It's so good. We're the only creatures in this entire world that can, well, I think we're telepathic as well. But anyway, besides the point, like I can tell you directly how I feel. Why would I not do that? What a gift it is to do that.
Yeah, that's so true. And that's definitely one of your gifts too.
I love it. I love filling people's like spirit, encouraging them with that.
Oh my gosh. Okay, for y'all I almost say animal lovers, but anime lovers, there's this anime series called Violet Evergarden, and I feel like she reminds me of her. Basically, someone had told her before he passed, or while he was dying in her arms, that like, I love you, and she always wanted to know what that meant. So she spent her life like being an auto memory doll girl, where she would type for people how they feel. Like she would listen to people and then help them express themselves and give out letters.
That is me.
Yeah, and so I feel like Wen is really good at like helping people put into words how they feel. And then you write those letters for them and you help them send it.
Thank you,
Make sure that they have. Yeah, you should watch it. It's really good.
You always tell me about that. And
It's
honestly,
really good.
before you began to use your voice more and express what you're saying, there's this Key and Peele episode where it's Barack Obama. He's an anger translator. I used to just want to do that for you because I'm like, oh my gosh, she's not going to say how she feels. I'm going to be her anger translator. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
But you know what? Like, I love doing that for people because for the longest time, nobody did that for me.
Oh.
No one understood me.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's the only reason. That's why I listen so like attentively because I'm like, okay. So saying all of this. Oh, in summary, this is how she feels.
Yeah.
But when someone is like express themselves like, you hurt me, like you said this thing that offended me, all people hear is, oh, that person's offended, they're mad at me, I'm a shitty person. But it's like, listen to the message, listen to the principle, and you'll get it. And unless you can summarize it back to the other person, you don't get it.
Yeah, that makes sense. That like you do it because you also wish that you had that for yourself, especially for younger you.
Yes.
And I love that you make her proud because you are that for her and others.
Thank you.
And that's honestly that's a strength. That's a gift of hers. Words and just expressing it. Like even she be writing the descriptions and titles for our Trauma House episodes because that's her gift. She's so good at that. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna let you do that.
So if there's an error, it is me. One time I caught one of my reels. I was like, girl, what is this?
Voice memo. That's me. See, that's why I don't do the word stuff. Just voice memo all over our
Oh
our
my
screen.
gosh. Okay, but there's another thing with that though, is that
Yeah.
like because I do say what I mean, when I'm angry, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna say stuff like you're a piece of shit. I'm not gonna say stuff like that, but I definitely will say some things that you probably do not want to hear. It's not fun.
When you're angry.
I don't like doing it either.
Yeah.
I'm just better at it. But it's not something I enjoy. I don't want to hurt people. I don't want to confront people all the time. It gets exhausting for me too, you know?
Yeah.
But sometimes it just has to be done.
I also want to add, like, make room, like, make space for people who don't often express themselves either. So that when they do, like, really listen to what they're trying to say. Especially for people who don't talk as often.
Yeah.
And, like, include them. Make it a safe space for them. Because sometimes people may struggle to share how they feel because they never really had that opportunity to, or they don't feel like included in doing so. I feel that especially in our family. A lot of the times I feel like certain individuals in our families, like our voices were shut down because it's like, oh, they're younger, so no, or like they don't matter as much, or, you know?
Yeah.
I still see it at times, but it's like, I can tell like we try to be extra, like considerate and like extra, like open to understanding, hearing them out when people do speak.
Yeah, because to me, it is the quieter ones where it's like, oh, like we have a brother, he don't really talk, but when he talks, I just be wanting everybody to be like, shut up.
Yep, like, okay, what you gotta say?
Say it again. You know, and it's, speaking of, you're talking about consideration, I realize that I still struggle with saying how I feel sometimes.
Oh, how so?
Because I don't want to bother people. Like, my whole thing is I feel like I'm an inconvenience.
Oh,
It is a trauma response, you know what I mean? But it's like, like one time I was like in prayer and God was like, you don't even know how to ask me for help. Because you grew up not knowing how to ask anyone for anything. And so I still do struggle with like asking for help or like, can you be here for me? Can you support me? But I mean, you do such a great job where like you make the space for me. Like, how can I be here for you? How are you doing? I don't have to struggle like, so can you be here for me? It's just like you make space for me to just say how I feel, and that's I love that too.
Yeah. And I also feel like because of our relationship, we could just be open, like, yeah, I was feeling sad last night. Something like that, you know? Like, we just keep it a safe space for each other to just come as you are. Because our energies are going to shift. We're going to change. Our feelings will change. So.
Oh my gosh. And the come as you are part, I feel like a lot of people don't like having conversations because they feel like I don't have the right words. I'm not academic. I'm not this. But honestly, for me, when I have a conversation with someone, like, y'all know I'm single and sometimes I be dating or whatever. But it's like a lot of guys, they struggle with expressing themselves. And our brothers too. I want to hear why you are struggling to express yourself. Like, honestly, I've never really had a safe space. No one's really understood me. I don't have a good choice of words. I don't know how I feel. That's what I want to know. I don't need someone to have all the answers.
Yeah.
But like, if I hurt you and you're like, you're able to express like, when you said this thing that hurt me, and I still don't know exactly why it bothered me, but it did. It doesn't sit right with me. I want to talk to you about that. Oh, like, what did I say? Did it trigger something? Like, what happened? Yeah. I'll be having questions, y'all. I'll be wanting to know.
Yeah, you ask great questions. And I feel like that's you showing that, like, you care about how they feel. You want to hear their voice.
And, like, also, how you talk to people is how you talk to yourself. So it's not like I randomly am like this to everyone. I'm like this to me. I mess up, I'm like, oh, it's okay, Wen, have grace on yourself. Someone messes up, I'm like, oh, okay, it's fine, have grace. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's how I know you're kind to yourself, is because you're so kind to everyone else.
Yeah, but also sometimes people are so kind to people but unkind to themselves too, though.
Is that kind to yourself though? If like,
sometimes
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Where
it's like you pour so much and give a gift to others, which is not kind to yourself. But it is kind to people. Because they benefit from it.
If you can't do it though, why say yes? Then it should have been no. That goes back to that impeccability
People struggle
thing.
with boundaries though.
That's so true. Okay, also, people be thinking communication is just about words. No, it's not. It's spiritual. It's mental. You know how easy it is to say sorry? I'm sorry? Do you know how hard it is to mean I'm sorry?
That's true, because you can say something and not feel it.
Yeah. It's the alignment. That's why it's say what you feel and feel what you say. It gotta be both.
Sometimes though, when I'm like randomly meditating, I'm like, what's the point of words if people don't even mean what they say anyway? And then for me, if I question a lot of things, I'll be like, well, then what's the point of actions if I question that too?
And you and I have talked about this, but it's like they have to go hand in hand.
Yeah.
They have to talk. They don't go without the other. They're like best friends, words and actions. Yeah. So words are very important to me. I realized just the other day I really be struggling still, like with saying with like. That's why I be tweaking sometimes. It's very rare that I tweak, but if I'm exploding, that tells me, girl, you ain't say that thing you needed to say. So it's like I'm picking up hints from myself and my body, like, oh, I blew up on that thing because that has been harboring within me for so long. And I'm very introspective, so I'm constantly thinking, which can be a lot too. But it's like, okay, I freaked out about this thing, which means this has been a problem for a long time.
I guess for me with this topic, it's interesting because it's like express how you feel.
Yeah.
But I'm at a point where it's like I'm learning to let go, even if I feel something that I don't need to express it, because either I didn't feel safe with you or you already have a mindset that you're right and there's nothing else to say. Everything I felt, I already said in the past, and I'm not going to force you to accept how I feel and to be receptive to it. So then I'm just like, okay, I'll let you feel how you feel and you be right, and you can view me however you want to. And that's got nothing to do with me.
I respect that.
Yeah.
Communication is also silence.
Oh, yes. I like that you added that. That's true. That's very true.
Because also not everyone deserves you to snap on them.
Yeah.
Not everybody, y'all.
Reserve your energy. I like that you added that. Because I feel like sometimes when you're beginning, like sometimes like me, you think that every little thing that comes to mind you just need to say. I'm serious.
I do notice that as well.
Yeah.
But it's because you are trying to learn the balance of it.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, damn. So then there have been things I've said in the past where I'm like, that could have waited. Or I could have said that differently. Mm-hmm. Or I could have addressed it to these people first.
I get it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but there's a lesson, and even, there's a lesson in it all. Mm-hmm. Even if you felt like you made a mistake, whether you could have gone about it in a better way. Mm-hmm. So.
We're all learning, you guys. Like, nobody really is perfect in this at all.
Yeah. There's no book that's like, this is exactly how you should do it, when you should do it, how you should say it.
But if there should be one, I should write it.
Yeah?
Nah, I don't know.
Really?
About it. No, I thought about it, like, just casually.
Like, kind of like a guide. Like,
yeah.
Okay, I see that.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, because you're really good at that. I think that'd be great.
But the thing about, oh my gosh, something that really discouraged me one time is someone was like, and he subscribed to this channel, so if you recognize this as you, slap yourself. I'm just kidding.
Slap yourself.
But one time he was like, you're so good at communicating, but why are you upset about this? And it's like, being a good communicator is not being void of feelings. Mm-hmm. It is saying it despite the feelings. Mm-hmm. What I'm actually doing is describing my feelings. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, oh my gosh.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I can't believe they would say that.
That really bothered me. But,
yeah.
It's okay. I did learn from that. I was like, okay, like, that means that people hold me to a certain pedestal or a certain standard if you are better at that. And, we've talked about how unfair that can be sometimes. Mm-hmm. But to be honest, I do want to be held to a higher standard. Yeah. I do want that for myself. And so I'm not mad at it. That's
true. Like, if you expect, like for me, for example, it's like, I expect that when I share with someone how I feel, that they're receptive to it. Mm-hmm. Just like how I expect myself to be receptive when someone comes to me expressing how I've hurt them or how they feel. Mm-hmm. It's like, it should be reciprocal, not just one way.
Yeah.
Yeah. You looking at my...
It's lighting. Should we pause?
You know what? Here we go. This is how we gonna end it, okay? This is real. Yeah, it's a wig. I'm not trying to make it show like it's not a wig, because it is. Look, okay?
Well, isn't it cute, though?
I wanted to do something different today, okay? I wanted to express how I feel in the way that I look. See?
Feel what you say.
And say what you feel.
I don't know if that exactly applies, but I think it applies.
Yeah, we can make it apply.
Work. Make it apply, y'all. Just make it apply. Yeah. But I guess, in conclusion, we just want to really encourage everyone to speak your truth. Mm-hmm. Speak it. And, you gonna mess up at the beginning, y'all, because I remember when I used to crash out and confront people, too. You find a balance.
Hey, but didn't you find that to be relieving for you?
I did find it to be very relieving. And I only did that because I went so long with not doing that.
And strangely, I feel like people respect you more when you actually speak up for yourself. I'm like, but at some point, I'm like, why the fuck do I gotta, like, snap on you for you to respect me?
Because they need to know where the line is.
Yeah.
I know, it's people wild, right?
They test you. Like, don't test me.
Don't. Period.
Like, you do not want to get me to that point, because I will snap on you. I don't want to have to. Mm-hmm. Can't you just respect my boundaries?
Simple. I think that's a good way to end it, because honestly, communicating is how you vocalize your boundaries. You
vocalize
your love for people. There's so much good out of this, y'all. Mm-hmm. So much. Try it. If you practice it, let me know. Mm-hmm. And if you be crashing out and you try to pick up and balance, let me know too. That's all part of the process.
Yeah. Let us know your lessons, because I sure am still learning too. Like, okay, when should I say this? How should I say it? Mm-hmm.
Not a bad thing at all. But thank you guys for tuning in and for watching. We're so happy to be back. And we'll see you on the next episode. Let's pause.
Why?
Let's pause.
Why? It's not that bad. It's not. I'm telling you, it's not that bad. Look. What? It's fine. Okay. Let me just pull it down. It's sliding, but this works. As long as my thing don't show. All right. Or more like a this, but it works. This works.
Is it staying?
It's staying.
Okay.
I'm looking at the mirror, so it works.